Hi everyone, welcome to BumbleBeeCrafts. Thanks for tuning in to another video from me. Hope you're all doing well. I'm starting a new little series today. I might not do a video every week, but throughout 2024 I want to play with fabrics a lot more. So welcome to Fabric Fridays, as I'm calling this. Yeah, I love fabric, textiles, trims, all of those kind of elements, and it goes way back from college days when I was studying fashion and dressmaking, and I did a textiles and evening class in textiles at the college as well. So I've always loved fabric, textiles, different feel of fabrics and everything, and just love all of that kind of stuff. When I first started into junk journaling, I was very reluctant to actually bring fabric into my junk journaling, because I started that side of crafting from paper crafting with scrapbooking, making greetings cards. So I found it very hard to use the material. Like this bit of material here would have been bought well, probably years ago, looking at the price for what it was, for some kind of dressmaking, or some of these heavier cottons, upholstery ones, would have been for like making curtains or something like that. So I found it very hard to bring all that fabric across, but I love it so much, and we use a lot of the fabrics in our junk journals. We love our fabric flips. We love making journal covers. Like this one is made from a lovely bit of upholstery fabric, and we've got some lace trim on the side, and we use little scraps of fabric on the tops of our tags and stuff. So in this series I really want to just play in every way, shape and form I can with fabric, and combine it with my junk journaling, as well as making things like fabric flowers. I have got quite a bit of a list together here. Yeah, fabric flowers. We can make ourselves some little bows and some little decorations for our journals. I want to be able to make the standard things like we do. We cover, make journal covers from them, like these ones. This one's been made with some fat quarter material. This is an old curtain. We're used to doing those, so there will be Fridays where I'll be making up batches of things like this. We'll be making tags and things like that, but I also want to do like fabric snippet rolls, making our own kinds of trim. I've got some ideas for that as well, and if you guys have got any ideas as to what type of fabric related crafts you want to see, do leave a note in the comments. I love hearing your suggestions and everything, so we can inspire each other and get creative. So yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy these series on Fridays, Fabric Fridays with me. This is just a little selection. I thought I'd start by just taking you through some of the types of material that I have in my stash, what sort of things I would use and everything, just as a little introduction as to what this little playtime is all about. Okay, so these are obviously brand new fabric. They are fat quarters, as it's got on here. I'm not sure where I got this from, probably from Aldi's here in the UK. They tend to have quite a lot of things like this in their middle aisle, where they'll have all sorts of stuff and that. So that's probably where I got that from. These are a couple more bits of fat quarter material as well, and these are just the right size for making journal covers out of them. Let's see, like this one, this is a journal cover that I've made. I've just covered an old envelope with it, and they are just the right size. You get a little bit of material left over, but not an awful lot, so perfect for that. So I do use fat quarters for those, but also you can cut them up to make them into fabric flips and things like that as well. So that's one source of material, and these are just cotton, 100% cotton material they are. So that's my fat quarters. The other more heavy duty cotton I've got here, this one is sort of middle weight. It's heavier than the fat quarters. It's a much more heavier weave, and I would imagine this would have been again probably got from my fabric shop and used for thicker, like either shirts or maybe even upholstery, pillows or something like that. I've got threads everywhere. Just get rid of my threads. But this one I know is a much heavier cotton, and this would be for blinds, making blinds, but there's no reason why it can't be used. I think it'd make a lovely cover with the palm leaves all over it. So there's some sources of materials. You can use thicker, more upholstery style fabric. Let me just fold these a bit better. My desk is absolutely covered in fabric. So I will put them with the fat quarters on top, move them up to the window out the way. The other stuff is more softer and silkier. This is definitely bought to make either a skirt or a top or something out of it. It's gorgeous rose print on there. But again, if I'm not making anything like that from it, I don't want to keep it in my stash. It'd make a lovely journal cover, and you could use bits of this as some ruffles on the side of a page. I think it'd be gorgeous. And this is lining material, an awful lot. I'm guessing I had a big project that I was going to line in this green material many years ago, and it's I think it's just polyester, but it's like a thicker viscose. It's not like this is viscose and it's really floppy and soft, but this isn't. It's got a bit more of a weight to it, but it's sold as lining material. But we can do things with that as well. So that's been pulled from my stash. Let's see what else. So yeah, I mentioned this viscose. This is actually an old scarf. I don't wear it anymore at all, but it's just going to be perfect for cutting up. So your sources of material don't actually have to be cut from a roll or sold as little fat quarter packs. You could use old scarves, and also you could use old clothes. This is a top that unfortunately some perfume has stained the rim of it, so I don't wear it anymore. It don't actually fit me as well. But it's got this gorgeous lace bit at the bottom. Now this can be cut off and we can use that lace in our journals, and this material as well is so soft and lovely, and it does fray quite nicely, because when I use material within my junk journaling, I do love to see a little frayed edge of the material. So yeah, this can be used, which means if you've got old clothes, you don't have to chuck them out, especially if they're not suitable to go to a charity shop and everything, because like I said, that one's got a bit of a stain on it. You can cut them up and use them within your junk journaling. This cotton material was the lining for a top. It had a lace top trim over it. I can't find where the lace has gone. I've probably used it, but we've got both the panels front and back of the top, that this can be used and make a little cluster, or you can use it and we can fold it up and make a nice little ruffle on the side of a page. So there's sources of fabric everywhere, and you can go to the charity shop and buy secondhand clothing and everything that you want to reuse within your junk journaling community. So yeah, don't be limited to material. If you like the material as an item of clothing but don't wear that item of clothing, use it in your junk journaling. This was some bought material, but I'm going to use that in my junk journaling as well. And the other thing I like to look out for is soft furnishing material in secondhand shops, curtains, table runners, things like that. This is an old curtain. There's actually two, believe it or not, so, and it's quite big, as you can probably see. I can't actually get it all in camera, but again, it was from a charity shop, and when you look at it as a whole, it's like, oh, okay, that's very old, fashion style print, but you can imagine little squares of that with maybe some of this on the top, and if we cut around some of the hearts with that, it would go perfectly. You could layer it up with maybe some of this green, it would go really nicely. So this is going to be cut down. I'm going to unpick it, tear it all up into various different sizes that I want, which leads me to this one, believe it or not, as you can see, was a curtain. And I've cut it up. I've kept all the old trims and everything like that from it. I've got bits that I've cut into different lengths, some scrap pieces, all kinds of things. I just sat one afternoon watching some telly, tearing it all up, and I've still got a great big chunk of material here left, and I have already made a journal cover from it. Let's move them back over here. So it's not been put anything on the inside yet. I've just done the outside with it with a bit of lace on it, but that has been used. So you can see how we can transform lovely material from a charity shop as a curtain into this gorgeous journal cover. So that's the kind of things that I want to be doing and playing a lot more with. And lastly, this is a table runner. I got it in a charity shop, but it's actually from Sainsbury's, and it's beautiful. It's got this gorgeous lace on the bottom here that I'm going to unpick all around here and see if I can get that lace off in its entirety on one edge. But I was also thinking of where we have a journal, if I just use this for example, that would be absolutely lovely as a journal cover. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do with this somehow. So that will be a little project in one of our Fabric Fridays to do. And then obviously, of course, we don't just have our main bits of fabric that we love to use. We use ribbons and vintage trim. This is some vintage trim from the 40s, some cotton bias binding that I've got. We will use things like that, little vintage trim here as well. This is all fabric as well and is going to be included in different things. These ribbons are all new, but I still like to use a mix of old and new. The other thing I like to do is when you buy clothing, I don't know about you guys, but the little tags that you get inside of the clothes, where they loop up inside either on the shoulder so that you can hook it onto a hanger, or if it's on the waistband they put these in. They really annoy me, so I cut them out, but I keep them all. And look at all these that I've got in here, different colours and everything like that. And I've been collecting these for years because I never wanted to throw them out, and to be honest, I've been using these more and more now that I'm doing junk journaling, because they will just go through the top of a little tag, and you've got a little hanging dangle on the tag, which is so cute and lovely. So yeah, I don't throw any of those out at all. What else have I got? The other thing obviously is lace and trims. There isn't any lace here out at the moment. I do have behind me here, I've got this to hand. This is a bought fabric on a roll, so you can buy fabric trim like that, and then I will just either make this into strips like bits of ribbon, or I'll use it as its entirety. So we've got that option. These are some bought laces. You've also got like little trims. These are curtain trims. They would be really nice in a journal. That's just an offcut that I've got. What else do we use in the fabric world? These are my vintage laces, all in here. just some old like trims and things like this that's going to be really, really good to use. Things like this, this broche anglaise, I think I'm saying that right, has been taken off of something, because as you can see it's been cut off as a trim. So if you see something in a charity shop or something like that, and you like this trim and that can be used in the journal, it can be cut off. It doesn't have to be bought as a trim like that. Where are we? I've got this is an old net curtain that I've had and cut up, and the only bit that's left is this lovely little bottom bit of the net curtain. So that's another option that I often look out for, especially in charity shops, is net curtains. But yeah, anything really, all sorts of material. I've even got some old jeans, denim material that I really would like to use and see how we can do things. So yeah, there we go. That's just a little introduction to what we're doing here on Fabric Fridays. We're going to have a little play with fabric. So let's see how we are doing for time. We're about 16 minutes, so I'm going to stop the video here, or should I say for you guys, pause the video, tidy up a few things here, get my crafting desk back a little bit. And what I thought we would do is just start simply by making some tags. I saw this idea back some point mid last year from Shabby Dabby Doodah on YouTube, where she made some fabric tags and she literally just stuck them onto a tag base, and then I believe she might have done some sewing around, but I've written here that I want to sew around and decorate it up. So the second half of this video, I thought we would just literally do some simple little fabric tags like this, a bit different to the fabric tags that I've done before that have had the bubble mailers in. I have a video where I made these using the fabric and repurposing bubble mailers. I will leave the link to that one below if you've not seen that. But yeah, start our Fabric Fridays with some nice simple fabric tags. So I will be back shortly once I've cleared my desk and we can start making some of these. Hello, I'm back from the second part of this video. So we're going to make some nice simple fabric tags. This is one that I had to remind me of this technique. I'm not sure what glue I used, so I'm going to experiment with the 3 types of glue that I mainly use, just to see which would be best to hold it, especially seeing as I will be sewing around this. And as I said, this idea I found at some point last year. I watched a YouTube video from Shabby Dabby Doodah where she made some fabric tags, so this is not my idea for them, and I'm sure it's been done before. So I've got some bases, I've got some journaling cards, and I've got some tag shape bases, and I've just grabbed a few bits of the cotton materials. These are fat quarters, and this is that other material I showed you at the beginning, and then this is the old curtain material, which this one was actually made from. So I just thought we'd start and have a little play. I thought I would do a couple of these because I thought this would be really nice as a base with some lovely flowers on it to decorate up. So let's see, let's do a couple of these actually. I'm just going to roughly measure, and then these are my fabric scissors. I have a set that I keep solely for fabric. My big shears are a bit too heavy for me to use anymore because they're really thick metal scissors. So I've got myself just a cheap little set, Westcott scissors from Amazon, and these bigger ones out of the set are what now are my fabric shears. So I'm just going to roughly chop that to size. I wonder if we could get a journaling card from it as well. Look, there we go. We can do those 3. Okay, so let's do the little journaling card first. Get a bit of a glue sheet. I think I'll turn this one over and use this side. Now, traditionally with fabric, I would use Fabri-Tac because I know definitely it bonds it perfectly. So we'll use that for this one, and then I'm going to experiment with using either the stick glue that I have or my PVA. I know the PVA on the bottle says it does glue fabric, but it stays wet for quite a while. So I've don't use it much, like when I'm gluing trims and things like that, because you have to hold it. But I'm thinking, as this is a flat surface, if we just put it under our mat, that might actually work. It'd be cheaper than continually using Fabri-Tac, because out of all the glues it is the most expensive glue. So, but we will use it for this purpose on this one as we're experimenting. Now I'm going to go quite close as I can there, and then these excess bits can be some lovely trims. Okay, so just smooth that out. I'll trim that up in a minute, I'll just leave it to Adia. Okay, so these are lovely and simple to do, just sticking them basically down, and then we'll trim around it and they can be decorated up. Okay, so the next glue I'm going to try is the stick glue. See how this goes, especially since we're going to sew around it, so it doesn't have to be necessarily strong to adhere to it. So we'll see how this one goes. Now, has that? Yeah, the creases will actually come out by gluing it down. There we go. Okay, let me make sure it's stuck down. So how are you all doing? Do you guys love using fabric in your journals and playing with different types of fabric? I know, as I said, I do. I love it. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know in the comments, to hear from you guys as to what you think of this little series and how you love to use fabric. Okay, I maybe need my bigger bottle for this. So we will see. I'll put... I don't want to put too much of this glue on because it is wet, and I've got a feeling that this one may seep through and leave marks on the other side. But as I said, I would have thought I used Fabri-Tac on that test one that I did. And if I'm going to be doing lots of different fabric things, Fabri-Tac's very expensive. So if I can find a better alternative. Okay, let's see how we go with this. Turn it over and just smush it down. Yeah, it doesn't get the crease out much on this one. Let's see, and I don't... What I might do is put this one to that one, I know, and it feels dry already. I'm going to put these other two, just put the lid on my glue, under my mat here. I can lift it up just to help keep that flat. There we go. Right, let's trim around this one. Now I'm not leaving any frayed edges with this. It will do a bit of fraying on its own, but that's fine. I mainly just wanted the actual size of this journaling card. There we go. Those bits I'll keep, pop in there. Doesn't look like it glued that edge, but that's fine, we can stitch around it. There we go. So that is our lovely journaling tag. Yeah, it feels the same as this one, so I must have used Fabri-Tac glue for that. So let's do a couple more, and we've got some bases then to decorate up. So what have we got in here? These are some offcuts. These might be nice, some nice spring coloured ones. What have we got here? We could do another tall tag. Couldn't we? Yeah, let's do another tall tag in this. Like so. Now which glue? I think for the purpose of this video I'm going to carry on using the Fabri-Tac glue just with these. We've done a little experiment that's drying under there, and we will just then see and compare at the end as to which we think would work. Oh, I'll do straight lines today. So this little series fits nicely into my second word of the year that I shared in my Wednesday video, which was experiment and try new things, and that is basically what we're doing here. We're trying something new, making ourselves some lovely fabric tags that I've not done this way before. So the Fabri-Tac glue is actually showing through on this one because it's quite a thin cotton. I'm going to try do a little journaling card. Let me get that one under there. I'm going to try again with the stick glue and see if this will go through it or not. And it's bright purple now, but as these coloured ones do, they dry clear. So we will see. Let's pop you on there. There we go. Yeah, you get much better coverage. Okay, we'll leave those a moment to dry. How are we doing on time for this second half of the video? So we're 10 minutes, so we're up to about just over half an hour. Let's see. I know I definitely want to do one of these daisy ones because I just recently sold my daisy journal, and I will definitely want to be making another daisy journal again. So where are we? Does it matter which way it goes? I don't think it does. I think we will have, I can position it on there. Okay, so I'm actually going to go again with this, with the stick glue, because I got a feeling this would, the Fabri-Tac glue would show through as well. And this fabric is so pretty. I might just have like a little label and a small little feature on it, not actually have too much on it. Put that at the top because I kind of want to use that frayed edge. I'm going to do this, cut this one slightly different so that I can carry on fraying the edges of it. Okay. So let's have a little look at these. These should be dry now. It hasn't adhered completely all the way round. Most of it has, actually. Okay, that doesn't look too bad at all. So let's cut up between them. That off, that off, that off. So I'll just straighten this a bit more. Okay, that bit can go in there, but they can go up here. Okay, so this is going to fray a bit more. Okay, so this one actually still feels a little damp. This was the stick glue one, but there's no difference really. I mean, we're going to sew around them, so I think you could probably get away with sewing using the stick glue. Actually, if you're going to sew around, if you're going to just leave it and not sew around, then I probably would recommend a glue you trust to properly stick fabric. But I also like the stitching, the look of stitching around it. So let's just take off any loose threads. There we go. Yeah, this was the other glue. That has actually worked, my PVA glue. I mean, it says it's supposed to stick the fabric, and I think having something weighed down on it has helped. So either of my three glues would actually work. Let's see what we've got here. This hasn't completely glued. Well, that was the Fabri-Tac, wasn't it? I obviously didn't go close enough. Yeah, you've still got a line all the way around on this one. So I'm not as happy with this particular material, which means when I come to do some of the shinier, silkier fabric, it might be a case of using the stick glue and then sewing. Okay. Oops. Didn't quite get straight there. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to put a bit more over this to cover it up. And I mean, I am going to stitch around, so that should hide the fact that the Fabri-Tac has actually showed through on this particular one. Let's have a look at what we got here. Goes back in there. There we go. And this one, yeah, this one's stuck good. Okay. And then lastly, we did this one. Now this one I want to leave a bit more so that I can actually fray it better. Like so. I do like the frayed edges. Right, now we snip these bits off. These don't fray very much, but we can get a bit of for 8 of them. There we go. That one's nice. I like that one. Right, time. How are we doing on time? Okay, so these are our bases that we've got. These ones I don't think need too much, but these I think do. So if you don't mind bearing with me, I'm just going to grab some flowers from the side, and at least if we can see about getting one of them decorated up so that you can see a completed tag. Yeah, there's some flowers and butterflies quickly to hand here. These are all the lovely Tracy Fox digitals. So let's have a look in here. I spied this one and thought, oh, look at that. Isn't that going to be absolutely lovely on there? With some, what do we want? We want a little label of some kind. And maybe a butterfly. And a little label. Yeah, okay. Labels. What have we got in here? Botanical pastels. Sorry, let's move these up here so that you can see. Or do we want that down? No, I do quite like that up there, but I think we need something with some words or something on it. Okay. Botanical labels. What's this one? Oh, okay, that's a different botanical set. That's not that one. Field notes. Have we got many? Oh, I've not got many in here left. I need to reprint these ones. Not many at all, look. Okay, that's not. You can tell I haven't used these labels for a little while because we're doing Christmas, as I hadn't realised just how low I'd got on them. Okay, let's go for some of these. These are the text stripped ones. So, not feeling any of these. Oh, there we go. I think that looks really quite nice. I'm just wondering if we just want anything else behind it, any other fabric or anything behind it. Let's ink up while we've got the while we think. Do a gale and do a bit of ink and thinking. Just need to trim this excess of white off from my scan and cut. There we go. That's that. That went there. This was down the bottom. Let's just trim up the butterfly. Like so. And that can just go on there. Okay. Just gonna grab my scrap bin and see what have we got in here that we might want to use. Maybe just a piece of this behind it, like down at the bottom, just to yeah, I quite like that. That's nice. So let's just tip that to the side. So because we're going, I want to stick these properly down, I am going to use my Fabri-Tac glue to stick these on. And let me just grab my tweezers out. Yeah, up there. Stick this down. Ooh, stringy bits. Okay, and we put some glue on our lovely flower. Okay, I will have to, I think, weight this down so that it glues. Oops. This glue's come out quite quickly on here. I'm going to put that there. Get the excess off. Then our little cute little butterfly. I'm not going to do the wings up on this one. I'm just doing this quite as a quick little idea to show you. Let's make sure it's all stuck down. There. So that is a fabric journaling card that we've covered in some fabric and then just decorated it up. And these were the other ones that we did. And the only thing I would say is the wetter the glue depends on the type of material as to whether it shows through or not. But I'm going to be doing some stitching around these anyway, so I'm not too bothered that you can see a little shadow on this one in particular. But it looks like either of the glues that I've used would work. So there we go, that's introduction into my new little series, Fabric Fridays. Really excited for this with some different ideas that I've got coming up. And we made a start by just doing some fabric bases, and we've decorated this one up. Let me hold it up to the camera. Look at that. That's just lovely, and because it's on the card you can write on that. So there we go. Thank you very, very much for tuning in and watching this video from me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're going to really enjoy the series and craft along as well. Get out your fabric stash and have a play along with me. And I will be back next Friday with some more fabric fun. Take care, everyone. Bye.